Hey guys, having a tea out here on the lanai. You can probably hear the pool going. There's also somebody listening to some really loud radio commercials. What I wanted to talk about today though um, is just becoming who you need to be to have and do the things that you want to do. Um, my oldest is 18, and we talk a lot about this, and he's heard these things from me. And being 18 and being super motivated, and maybe even because growing up around me, always doing entrepreneurial things, always looking at things very deeply, and really trying to find purpose in things as well. um, Sometimes it's challenging because we are very deep thinkers and we do want to do so much, and we are already doing so much. But then you also still feel like that there's more, and maybe there's something missing, and maybe there's something else you should be doing. And um, it's almost like having two, sorry, there's a nail bugging me. It's almost like you have too many choices to be able to like narrow it down. So in those moments where I'm feeling like that, or I'm talking to someone who's feeling like that, I like to, remind people to, um, anytime you're sitting in front of like an option where you could go this way or you could go that way, think about which gets you closer to who you want to be and where you want to go. And I'm even talking like little things, like if you want to start getting healthier and eating better and working out and doing those things, and you're faced with the scrumptious looking donut, and maybe you say, you know what, I'm going to skip on that because I don't think that's getting me closer to where I want to be. Or maybe you worked out really damn hard and you see that scrumptious donut, you're like, you know what, I deserve that. That's going to make me feel good. There is no right or wrong. It's you gets to decide that. If you do find yourself, or in the past have found yourself maybe making the choices that later on you think maybe weren't the best choices, then maybe you take another second when those choices are in front of you to make a different choice. And the saying goes that the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. So if you keep showing up and eating that donut, and you keep skipping the workout, and you keep skipping making the phone calls you need to make and putting in the work that you need to do, and you're still living the same life that you have been living, which isn't the life that you want to be living, then maybe you make a decision and you make a choice and you make a change. But you need to also take the time, and if you're anything like a lot of people, you've done a lot already in your life. You're an awesome person. Sure, you've made mistakes. Sure, you've missed opportunities. Sure, you've hurt someone's feelings. You've done all those things because we all have. But overall, you've done a lot. And you need to show yourself some grace and show some gratitude for the things that you've already accomplished, the people you've already helped, the things you've already done. Um, and you deserve a break sometimes too. Like, I know people that, all they do is work, 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 work. And yeah, they have the money, and maybe they have even the trips and the cars or whatever that they want, but they're still missing something deep inside because maybe they are ignoring something inside themselves that they need to address, something, that's burning inside or whatever. Um, Maybe they don't have a best relationship with their children, their spouse, whatever, maybe it's something like that that's an external thing. But it usually boils down to them and something that, they haven't done, or miss, been missing the ball on, something like that. Um, but we've all still need to take the time to think about like what we've already accomplished and not be too hard on ourselves. So take a moment each day, whether you can sit and meditate, or you can go sit in your yard, go to the park, wherever it's like a, somewhat quiet yet reflective place. You could even bring like a journal, write it down, but just like reflect on things that, you're proud of, things in your life that you're grateful for, and sit with that a little bit. Because if you keep remembering your past in a way that you feel like regrets or coulda, woulda, shoulda, you're going to project that into your now and into your future, and that's not what you want to perceive. So then look and see, like, who do you need to be to have and do the things that you want, and really sit with that and write about that and think about, you know, what you need to be doing on a day to day in order to get where you want to go. And be honest with yourself. If you write down that, you know, you want to make $1 million this year, and you know, you want to have this and do this and have that, and then you sit with yourself and you're like, that's not what I want. You know, I'd rather have, you know, time to spend doing this, or I'd rather this, or like, be honest with yourself. There's no right or wrong. Like, you don't have to, just because your neighbor has a giant house, or just because your friend goes on a vacation once a month, if that doesn't resonate with you and that isn't who you are and what's going to bring you joy, don't go for that. But it also, at the same time, you know, a lot of times that we need to experience things before we know what it is that we really want. So try the things and decide, yeah, no, that wasn't for me. I was talking this morning, actually with my hygienist. She was cleaning my teeth, and we were talking about, you know, I just went on a vacation and we went to Six Flags and riding roller coasters. And, you know, 15, 20 years ago, I would ride all the roller coasters and sometimes ride them 2, 3 times in a row. And I thought that was great and fun. And this last time I went, and, you know, I rode most of everything, but it was kind of like, yeah, you know, it just didn't do the same for me at this point, you know. I'm like, I think it's the age thing. My kids, of course, went on everything, and a couple that I didn't even go on, and, you know, they were just having a grand old time. And, you know, sometimes things change. So something that maybe used to be what brought you joy, maybe you used to like to go out and drink, you know, every night or every weekend or whatever, and now you're like, no, that really doesn't do it for me anymore. That's okay. Maybe, you know, you used to want to work out every day, and now you're like, you know what, 3, 4 days a week is fine for me, or whatever it is. Like, honor yourself and where you want to be, and don't compare yourself with anyone, even your past self, maybe your future self, because if there's a certain place or person you want to be, you might want to think about that. But I think overall that a lot of us, we get stuck in these ruts and we don't know how to get out. Whether it's looks maybe positive to others, it's in your heart, in your world, you feel like it's not fulfilling to you. I think it's Tony Robbins says something like, you know, success without fulfillment is the ultimate failure. And you see a lot of that. The more people I meet in my life, you know, whether it's customers, other people I do business with, whatever, like, a lot of times on the outside, things look really, really brilliant and bright. They look like they have a great career, great family life, you know, all this stuff. And then you actually talk to them, you know, one-on-one, and they're miserable. You know, on the outside, it looks all shiny and, you know, lovely, but on the inside, they're hurting. So this life is short. I guess it's long too, depending on what you're facing, what you're looking at, what you're doing. But I just feel like it's still like, it's your life, and you should be doing what it is that you want and what really brings you joy. And it might not be the same thing as everyone else. It might be. Maybe you do have things in common with a lot of people. I know for me, I don't. And so I do the things that make me happy and that bring me joy, and become the person that I really want to be, instead of the person that maybe someone else thinks I should be. I hope this has been helpful. I hope everyone's having a beautiful day, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, however you are. And know that your mind is powerful, and you can really do anything that you set your mind to. And, you know, just be honest with yourself.